So and it's fantastic to hear you say that. And so obviously you are agreeing with everything that Elon Musk is doing right now with the cuts and getting rid of wasteful spending and everything else, correct?
Not only wasteful, but abusive spending. Some of the
So you
things they're finding, some of this money was going to USAID, this is our taxpayer dollars going to USAID that they were turning around giving to non NGOs. And there are some good NGOs out there. I've watched them work, and they're getting food to people who need to eat. That's great. But they were siphoning off this money and giving it to organizations that were helping people, illegals, come across the border. Our own money. They found that it should be gone, and we got to keep looking and keep finding it. And by the way, it was really important, and this is so important for all of us and all the conservatives listening. There is not going to be cuts to benefits in Social Security or Medicare, and they're going to protect Medicaid. They've said it. The president have said it. Mike Johnson, Speaker Johnson, said it this morning. He's reiterated it. What they're doing is saying, if it takes you 10 people to do one person's job in Social Security, why should we pay for that? That's what's jeopardizing the health of Social Security. So get rid of a dead weight, modernize it, and make sure that those benefits are getting to people who need it. Those are good cuts. Those are smart cuts. Every business, every person listening to this has been through this in their company at one point or another. And so again, got it. But it won't happen if we don't keep sending people back who understand how you have to legislate. It can't be just the president by himself. In 4 years, I hope it's a long-term Republican conservative majority forever. It's not, history tells us that's not going to happen. So we've got to make sure you legislate these things that make it much more difficult for the Democrats to re-put back into place what they've done to the American people.
Well, let's go into the debt. Obviously, it's just astronomical. It continues to get worse. And even with your voting record in the past, I mean, you voted for a lot of higher spending and debt levels during your time. I think the Heritage score had you a little over 50% on that kind of voting record.
Mm.
What do you have to say to the folks out there that look at your past and say, well, Mike, holy cow, man, you were one of the people that were just continually increasing our debt.
So I will never, ever apologize for giving the resources to our troops who are in combat anywhere in the world. And it offended me as somebody who wore the uniform. I was an officer in the United States Army. When I watched members of Congress who had never served say, oh, tough, we probably should just cut or not pay or postpone the budget. For those people and their families, I thought that was just damn near close to treasonous. If you look at the way we were voting, because we put in the reconciliation process, we were pretty flat on all the government funding. Where that money came in was the funding that we had for Iraq and Afghanistan. Like it or not, we could debate that all day long. Should we have been there? All of that's fair game. But you never leave a soldier in the field without every resource to win the fight and come home. I won't ever apologize for that, ever. And so, and I'll take that fight to anybody that wants to have it. You look at the spending that we did on the regular course of government. Like I said, even in my intelligence budget, I cut it 10% in the first whack. That's how we get there. Well, we need to make sure we're not in those conflicts. We need to make sure that Ukraine comes to a peace agreement. I think that's huge. But we have to continue to look at what the real record is versus this nonsense. And if you look at how we got to $36 trillion, it didn't happen while I was in Congress. It happened after I left. And that's why I want to go back. I have the skill set and the resources and the determination and the grit to actually grind this thing out and get where we need to go. But again, I'll fight that fight any day of the week.
Well, I think that's one thing people are concerned about too. Like even President Trump's first term, the spending was still out of control, and people just want it to be stopped. And with Elon Musk and Doge and everything else, I think they're in the right direction, and that's why I think it's so important. And thank you for bringing it up. That it's just not this last election cycle. So many people have picked up their ball and went home. We have decades of work, and I agree with you. A lot of these folks who are kind of using the politics in the positions as a stair step to higher positions at this time, I think is a lot of self-interest, and it's not right. I mean, this country needs these people to stay in place so we can have a majority and play the long game with these things. But unfortunately, other people have other plans at this moment. And and hopefully the people hold them accountable and ask them those tough questions, because I want to know that as a constituent.